weird sexual practices in Nigeria, totally discussed. Every nation and tribe has its peculiar culture and tradition. However, there are some that are weird. Our focus is on the weird sexual practices in Nigeria. There are many things that give life pleasure. Sex can be mentioned among them. It is one of the staples of human existence. The importance can be varied based on personal view or location. It is centrality to human living that cannot be overemphasized. There are two basic functions sex can provide for humans, that is, for procreation and gratification. The term weird can be seen as strange or bizarre, having an unusually strange character or behavior, deviating from the normal bizarre aspects, and different kinds of it have been practiced since ages, but only by certain cultures. African culture is very sexually conservative culture. In Nigeria, the sexual practice laid down by our forefathers is known as the missionary style, or at most the cowgirl or woman on top position. This kind of sex is encouraged and deemed fit to be the best type to be practiced. Today, sexual knowledge increases beyond human understanding, where people learn new different practices through experimentation and exploration of their body to find their unique sexual preferences. These are few out of the numerous sexual practices that can be seen in Nigeria. Wonder sex. This is one of the sexual practices in Nigeria observed today, where the right position of sex as vagina has been misplaced of its value. And some young and adolescents prefer the use of anal to any other form for their pleasurable satisfaction. Imitation sometimes kills. A story was told of a couple who agreed to perform such an act. At the process, the woman ends up scattering or messing up the bed with fetuses. 2. Masturbation. Most singles are involved in this act for self-satisfaction, a situation where they couldn't find the second opposite sex to have a direct contact or sexual intercourse with. They get the use of hands into their private parts for sexual arousal. That is for females. Males have their own way of elongating their genital organ for erection. Some have to go the extra mile with the use of toy machines to carry out this function. 3. Sucking of male and female genitals. This is another sexual practice that seems to be horrible. A practice that showcases the couples licking or sucking each other's sexual organ for arousing purposes. So many people have a name for it, but it is commonly known as blowjob. Culturally, this looks so irritating in Nigerian, as it could be seen as a crime stated in Section 214 of Criminal Code. The liable victims are not possibly gotten because of the environment in which such practice is carried out. Many couldn't think of the implications of this act. If some microbes can get into their mouth, which may result in cancer, or die in lesbianism right from the beginning of creation. Humans are of two opposite sex that should have the knowledge of sex enjoyably, both man and woman. What we can see now is man-to-man sexual practice. This is totally out of standard as the culture demands. It is not legalized in Nigeria for such acts to be carried out. But secretly some adolescents and some adults get themselves involved. 5. The doggy style. Some couples have seen this fit for physical and pleasurable sexual intercourse satisfaction. A process where the man takes the root of sex from behind. This practice is carried out by those who choose it as the best way for themselves. 6. Forced sexual initiation based on sex. Some initiations are carried out ceremonially to get some people through sex. Some cultural practices where dancing is involved and ladies are forcefully sexed to be part of the group. This practice is not rampant, but scarcely practiced because of its cult function. 7. Heavy status of adolescent. The carriers of this fold try to see themselves as a good match for sexual practices. So they try to hook up with each other whenever the urge arises. Multiple sex. This is another sexual practice that involves the male with two or more ladies having sex at the same time. They find it good to test the man if he is capable enough to stand multiple women. Some did this in order to gain not only pleasure, but wealth from the man. Dry sex, a kind of sexual activity without direct penetration to have sexual pleasure and orgasms, even when cloth is worn, and there is a form of ejaculation. There won't be a tendency for the woman to be pregnant. Still keep both genders saved from contacting STIs, HIV or AIDS. In the use of charm or drug, there are some ladies who have objected demand of sex by some male counterparts. The seem to proffer solution to this kind of only by using fetish means and drugs to achieve their aims. This is where we could see some women be victimized of pregnancy and some diseases contacted. This act can also be termed as rape. Finally, it is important to note that some of these practices are gotten from the porn. What porn did was to show that all different sexual preferences, and it spread its awareness through electronic devices, videos, and television. Some cultures and civilizations are restrictive to sexual experiences or certain sexual preferences. All these cultures are borrowed and practiced. The recent or outdated sexual practice, yet to be carried out, some researchers have not seen it. So vast is that of licking of it. Many are guided to be conscious of demand for pleasure and know what best is meant for life. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more.